Hey, Michael Leckie here, author of The Heart of Transformation, bringing you my ongoing series of What's the Question? Some of you may know the book, The Heart of Transformation. At the heart of it, so to speak, is a series of questions that you can use to really change behaviors and change conversation to hopefully change an organization. That's what the book is written about. But those questions also have a lot of other real practical applications. And one of the things that we like to do here is to take a look at what's going on in the world and say, hey, what's the question here that might have shifted things? So at the time I'm recording this, there's been recently news about the trial around the individuals, the three men who killed Ahmaud Arbery. You may recall that he was running through their neighborhood and they chased him down and shot him, allegedly because he was potentially stealing something, or that was their thought. And I looked at the questions and I thought, boy, there's a number of things here. When I was looking at my list of questions in the book, one of them, how is my idea wrong? Well, we can go a lot of places with that. But the one that actually I thought was interesting is one from Changing Before Protecting in the book that says, what's the worst that could happen? But I frame this as the question that puts a name on our fears. So let's think about it. They see this guy running through the neighborhood, and for whatever reason, they jump to a conclusion that he's stolen something. Okay, so if they don't do anything, what's the worst that could happen? Something maybe got stolen. But instead they thought, no, we're going to get guns and we're going to chase him down and we're going to be vigilantes. Well, what's the worst that could happen there? Well, I guess they know now. The worst that could happen is you end up with both state and federal prison sentences that put you in prison for the rest of your life. So they're both going to die in prison. A father and a son dying in prison. I'd put that in the worst that can happen category. Maybe there's something else for them that'd be worse. I don't know what it is. So when you think about a question like what's the worst that can happen, it's a really interesting one because I use it in my work to say, hey, when we're thinking about doing something, but we're hesitating in business, how bad could it really get? Let's put a name on those fears. And many times for my clients, they find out, it's really not so bad what could happen here, and the upside's really good. In this case, just letting it happen probably was the best way to go, because the worst that could happen was something got stolen, and as opposed to what did. So it's a great question when you're thinking about, is this the right thing to do? Not to hold you back, to help you move forward. But in some cases, the worst that can happen is pretty devastating. You don't want to do it. Thanks for listening.